Namaste programs and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. We've got a very special episode today. A request from a viewer named John who asked if I could have a quick look at COLLIOURE, which is on the French Mediterranean coast down near Spain, not far from Perpignan, which I've been to. Google tells me that it's a town on the Mediterranean coast of southern France. On the sea, the medieval Chateau Royal de Collioure offers dramatic coastal views. The bell tower of 17th century Notre Dame des Anges church was once a lighthouse. The modern art museum includes painting by Henri Matisse. Nearby is the Moulin de Collioure, a 14th century windmill. South, the hilltop fort Saint-Elme has a museum with medieval weapons. So, the nearest airport seems to be Surette Airport, which is a bit of dirt in the middle of nowhere. But so we're going to start off there. We're going to take the Icon A5 for maximum touristic opportunities. And Collioure's over here somewhere. Let's go have a look. All right, welcome to Surette grass field. Did actually say it was dirt. It's not even dirt. It's just a patch of grass with a shack nearby. That's cool. Let's go. Get the parking brake off, that'll help. Good thing we're facing downhill. What a cool runway. Uh-oh, I've hit something, but we're good. Look at this little town. Oh wow, on the hill. That's awesome. That is fantastic. Get our gear up. Let's get our flaps up. Let's start heading in the right direction. 97 degrees. Wow, cute little town. I'm going to treat this a little bit like a bush trip in that I'm just going to enjoy the scenery and comment when I feel I have something to say. We're probably at the right height now. Yeah, good enough anyway. We want to be able to see everything. Look at this countryside. It's so spectacular. There we go. Get back on our heading of 97 degrees, which is basically on the way to COLLIOURE. I love any excuse to explore any part of the world that I haven't seen before, so thank you very much, John, for the suggestion of doing this. Just wondering what this line was, but it's one of these stitches between the photographs. Yeah, so thanks again. I'm looking forward to this. I've been down this way. I've spent some time in Perpignan, mainly because I think there's even some videos on my channel of flying around Perpignan in Flight Simulator, and perhaps even a link to my personal page with an actual video, home movie of my trip to Perpignan. When I was 18, there was still compulsory military service in France, and if you're a resident, which I wasn't, I was a citizen because I'm half French, but I was living in Australia. But because I was born overseas, Perpignan is where I would have had to report, because that's where all people born overseas have to report. Another cute little town over here. Big mall there, and it's quite a big town, quite a big one. These are of course the base of the Pyrenees, basically, although we're basically in the Pyrenees really, aren't we, right now? As always, I am not a professional geographer. In fact, I am a complete nonce at geography, something that has been I've been playing some GeoGuessr, which is a website which uses Google Earth, Street View, not Google Earth, Google Street View to, you have to try to figure out where you are in the world by looking around. I'm not terrible, but I am by no stretch any good. So, yes, geography. I intend to play some more GeoGuessr. I may even do some videos on it. just to try and get better, because I love traveling and I love this whole virtual tourism that things like this game and GeoGuessr and Google Earth and Google Maps and Google Street View offer. Yeah, it's just fascinating, the different places you get to see, and having just a bit of a game around it gives you an impetus to play it. So let's see. KLM? Wow. Good to see KLM still going. They used to fly to Australia, and they do not anymore, and certainly wouldn't be right now, even if they had still been doing it. I don't think they did. I think they stopped. No, I might be wrong about that. I might be wrong. Certainly right now they're not flying. No one's flying to Australia. I want to say rightly so, but you know what? It's been nearly 2 years since I last went there, and I intended to go every year. And yeah, nearly 3 years since I moved here. Time flies. These little towns are fantastic. Little towns surrounding a football field. Well, it could be a rugby field. I'm sure they play both. Actually, down here it would be rugby. Pretty much, I think. Catalan, south of France, they're very into rugby. Of course, they're into soccer as well, football. But, yeah, rugby and rugby league even down here. Rugby league's not, I think it's still, well, maybe not anymore, but until recently it was still amateur. Rugby union was the professional version of rugby. But down here it's always been more popular than in the north. I used to be a huge rugby nut. I've just basically lost interest. The way the game's played these days is not to my liking, and yeah, I just don't have access to the Australian rugby broadcasts and whatnot, so yeah, I've sort of let it lapse. I watch some highlights occasionally. My team, the Waratahs from New South Wales, are rat shit at the moment, so yeah, not much impetus to follow them, so there you go. I probably watch more football than I watch rugby these days. Little industrial area below us here. Looking good. Look at the cloud. This is live weather, by the way, live time, so it's 3:23 where we are here in the south of France, near Perpignan, on our way to COLLIOURE with live weather. So I don't know if there's actually, I mean, the live weather's meant to be based on weather radar, so there's probably clouds right there in real life. Mind blown. I love this little plane. Doesn't go very fast, but it's very cute. I was going to say it's the only one that doesn't have a co-pilot, but yeah, no, there's a co-pilot. Nice. Alright, we're not far away now from COLLIOURE. I think this must actually be basically it. Over... We'll just go above it, and we'll use the drone to go down and explore it. But for now, we'll just fly over it, see what we can see, if there's anything excitingly rendered in or something. Probably not. It's probably all going to be algorithm, unfortunately. So we may not be able to make out the castles and light. You know, what did it say? A lighthouse that is now a church and things like that. But we might be able to see anything. Although we're stuck in the clouds right now, let's lose a bit of height. In fact, let's just lose a lot of height, because I believe this is it, basically. Sort of this whole area is COLLIOURE, possibly. Or possibly even just that section, I don't know. That's where I put the marker, that's where I put the custom GPS. No, not GPS, well, longitude and latitude. Alright, let's get back on not falling out of the sky. Of course, the algorithm basically the shape of the city will be the right, the size of the buildings will be roughly right. But I mean, if you recognize the building, for example, and I were to zoom down into it, it wouldn't look identical. It does what it can, the algorithm, unless there are places in the game that have been using the photogrammetry is pretty much spot on and everything, but here it'll just be a gist of it. So if you knew that there was a football field there's a football field. That one works out fine, but there will be a building where a building exists in real life, but it may not be quite what it should be. So for example, in Sydney, where I live, where my parents live, is an 8-story building. The algorithm renders it as a sort of 2-story mansion, which is meant to be an apartment block, but the game can't know that. Anyway, let's have a look around. I guess this is a little marina here. I wonder if I'll just in case this isn't COLLIOURE and the town next door, we're going to head down to the peninsula down there, see what we can see in this whole area, turn around, come back up, and go from there. I'm just trying to get yeah, okay, so this is, I mean, it's all sort of registering as COLLIOURE here, but I mean, this might be the town next door. This little area here is Port Vendre, I think. There's a fort here as well that's apparently of touristic interest. See if we can see anything, evidence of that. Cute little town though, very cute. Oh, actually, no. This is actually the castle somewhere here, I think. Yeah, no, I'm recognising this little bay here from the pictures, from the Googles. Yeah, so the castle must be here somewhere. Maybe that's it there, rendered in as a few things. Alright, well in which case, I think we found where we want to be. Oh, that might be the fort up on the hill there? Yeah. Let's, pause that, get our little drone out. Maybe not so fast today. Let's have a look around. So, this must be the main part of the town. This is COLLIOURE. COLLIOURE, I'm probably not even saying it properly, but my apologies for murdering it if I am. Yeah, well, I mean, this looks like a castle from on top, doesn't it? Yeah. The algorithm's done a little bit of a number on it, but it's definitely, you can tell from the actual photograph, the aerial photography, that that's some kind of fort or castle. So maybe this thing over here isn't, it might be another sort of castle. Again, you get some weird things. Like, for example, when I was visiting COLLIOURE in this game, there was a a castle wall, like a city walls, that was being rendered in as an apartment, a really, really thin, flat apartment block. So, you take what you can. We've got a nice little bridge here that's kind of nice sparkling water. Look at this town, isn't it beautiful? What an absolutely beautiful little town. I hope it's the right one, John. Let me know if it isn't, and we'll get it right next time if it's not. So, judging by the Google map, this must be a fort. I mean, that's probably not what it looks like in real life. It's been sort of rendered in as a hotel castle kind of thing, but it's quite common in France to have little forts on the top of every hill, watching out for pirates and Germans, I guess. This also might be some kind of, fort or wall or something that's been rendered in a little bit weird. Have a look along the coast here. Little marina, little beach maybe even. Yeah, maybe. Little beach. How about that? Beach town. They do like their beaches over here. Some cliffs. Okay, let's have a quick look over here. See what's just around the corner here. Another rather large building that probably isn't like that in real life. That might be something else that the algorithm has just rendered in a little bit weird. And this might be the town next door, although Google's not telling me what name it is if it's not also Colliure. Colliure? Colliure? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It might be pronounced a little bit different. They might have a regional accent down here that's possibly almost Spanish or Basque. Look at this little port slash marina going on here. That's very cute. But another section here that sort of looks to me like there might be like fortifications here that have been turned into buildings. If you know the area, if you know it, you'll probably recognize what that should be and wonder what on earth the algorithm's doing. Again, this over here, I wonder whether that's actually a, you know, a rock wall, stone wall, or some such that has been turned into a building. We've got some markings on the side of the hills here. They would probably be vineyards, I would imagine. I could be wrong. This is the fort again. And that is the beautiful town of COLLIOURE. Now, I don't know where you might have been if you visited here, but you might have, for example, stood on a hill over here and looked out over here. That view will be identical, mate, regardless of what the algorithm does with the buildings or everything. What I find amazing is that, you know, if I go to actual places I've been to, and you can just look at the way the mountains are in the background and everything, just you absolutely get that sense of space, of place, I mean to say. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Next one will be some trips into the into Switzerland. I'll have to plan that out, find what to look at, and thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed that, John. Appreciate the idea. Got any others, let me know. Catch you next time. Au revoir. Goodbye.